everyone. So today I want to react to a video by Warren Smith, who's reacting to a video of Barry Weiss on the Joe Rogan podcast, where Barry Weiss pretty much talks Tulsi Gabbard. Now, if you don't know who Warren Smith is, he's the guy who I think Elon Musk retweeted or tweeted a video of his where he was debating a student, just asking the student logical questions about why the student thought that J.K. Rowling was transphobic. So I respect and I appreciate his opinion, and that's why I want to react to his reaction of this video, because I found it very ridiculous. Now, before I show you this video, I'm going to tell you that I have been watching Tulsi Gabbard for the past 4 years. I have seen most of her interviews, and I'd like to say that I'm a pretty good judge of character. And never once did I get a feeling that she was some sneaky person, some evil witch who is in Putin's pocket. For the past, 5 months, 6 months maybe, I've been hearing the mainstream media shit talk her, specifically last night on 60 Minutes, where they were talking about Trump's cabinet and her being evil because she wants Edward Snowden to be pardoned. And if you don't know who Edward Snowden is, he's the fella who was a whistleblower saying that the U.S. government was spying on Americans. He got exiled from America, and now he lives in Russia. So that just made me like her more. Anytime I've heard her talk, she's very composed. She's very good at speaking. She's not afraid to answer difficult questions or to talk to someone who doesn't agree with her. She's very kind, level-headed. She knows what she wants to say, and she's not afraid to say that she was wrong at one point in her life, which, if you've seen government officials, they don't like to admit when they're wrong. They would rather double down on stuff. So let's roll this clip and react to it.
This is a clear attempt. Barry Weiss trying to smear Tulsi Gabbard. It's just remarkable how Joe Rogan uses the Socratic method and just basic logical questions, and her argument just dissolves.
Kirsten Gillibrand. Oh, monstrous.
Monstrous, okay. We're going to have to dig a little bit deeper.
Monstrous?
Ideas.
Well, when she was 22, she had...
No, she's an Assad toady.
An Assad toady. Okay, let's get specific. Why do you think... What is a toady, first of all? Like, what does that even mean? Like, why are you using that term?
What does that mean?
She is
What's a toady?
I think that I used that word correctly. Jamie, can you check what toady means?
Oh, my goodness. Don't use such a specific term on the biggest show on the planet if you don't know what the term means.
Like towing the line? Is that what it means?
No, I think it's like a...
How do you want to spell it?
Toadie.
What does that mean?
I'm pretty sure toady is someone who tries to sell someone else, like a cheerleader almost, someone like that. But it's not surprising that she's using words that she doesn't know the definition to in order to smear someone. But that's Barry Weiss for you. I've seen her on different podcasts and Bill Maher, and sometimes I agree with her, and then other times she flips her opinion, and I'm just like, no, I don't agree with her. Like, who is she? Does she have a stable opinion? Does she have integrity? Does she have a backbone, or does she just kind of go with the wind? Is it, oh, we're going this way, gonna make money. And then, oh, the wind's going this way, gonna make money.
I think it means what I think it means.
Oh, I'm like cringing inside right now.
There you go.
Toady. Definition of toadies. A person who flatters or defers to others for self-serving reasons.
Is Barry Weiss not deferring to others for self-serving reasons when she completely changes her political positions in order for financial reasons for the free press?
A sycophant.
So she's an Assad sycophant. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's known.
This reminds me so much of the interaction with the student with J.K. Rowling. So why do you think J.K. Rowling is bigoted? It's because it's just known. I've heard that this is true. It's just known. Okay, well, but what has she done that makes her bigoted? It's just known. I can't cite anything specific, but yeah, it's known. And look at the conviction on her face when she says that.
I think it's because Barry Weiss, she's just used to being around people who agree with her. And she seems like the type of person who would just agree like I said earlier, with whatever the popular opinion is at the moment. Right now, the popular opinion is to trash everyone in Trump's cabinet. I don't know much about the other fellas who are in there, the other women who are in there, but I do know a fair amount about Tulsi, with exception to the things that she's going to bring up. I never heard the Assad toady thing, and some other things she's going to bring up. I've never heard about it before, which makes you wonder, why now are they talking about how she's a caca person? Why now? Why didn't they talk about it before? Because they don't believe it. I don't really think they believe it. I don't think that she really believes it. She just lives in her own non-integrity world. She's just whichever way the wind blows. And I've seen a lot of people on the left do this a lot, where it's like, yeah, you didn't know? Well, this is true because it's known, but no information, no backing of that statement with any sort of facts. It's just, well, everyone knows it, so it must be true. Well, for critical thinkers, we need to know what the evidence is. I'm not going to just take your word for it because you said it. I don't know you, so give me some information. Let me look it up. Let me make my own decision. No. You gotta believe what I say.
Yeah, that's known about her.
Like, what did she say that
we have to look.
Her?
I don't remember the details.
We probably should say that before we say that.
It's known about her, but I don't have the details. Well, if you know, then you must have the details, or else why are you saying it? Because you're not used to someone asking you questions back about what you're saying. You just expect people to agree with you. It kind of shows you what kind of people she surrounds herself with.
Say that about her.
And good on Joe Rogan for not letting this slide and calling this out. Like, we should not do this. And he points that out squarely.
We should probably read it, rather.
Well, I have read it.
No, I mean,
there's something about her mannerisms and just that response. Well, I have read it. Why are you just leave me?
Well, we should probably read it. Well, I have read it, but I don't remember any of it. So why did I say it? That's pretty much, like, if you've read it, then you should remember, right? I mean, you're stating these things as facts, so what is it? But she doesn't know. She has no idea.
You just leave me alone. I said it's true. Just leave me alone.
No, I mean, we should now.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Just so we know what she said.
I've
had her on
Gabbard.
here before. I really enjoyed talking to her. I like her a lot.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I like talking to her.
Okay.
I like talking to her. I don't know about...
I think she's like the mother lode of bad ideas.
Can we get specific?
The mother lode of bad ideas. What ideas are those? How is she the mother lode of bad ideas? What is it? What are her ideas? Let us know.
Bad ideas.
Can we get specific? What are these bad ideas that you're talking about?
Whoa.
I'm pretty positive about that, especially on Assad.
Anytime someone says, I'm pretty positive about that, that's an oxymoron. I'm
pretty positive pretty much means, well, how I interpret it as, is I am confident until I'm challenged. Then I'm not sure. But I am sure because it's what I believe in. Just don't ask me about it, because I don't have answers.
Pretty positive, those two words cancel each other out. You can't be pretty positive. You're either positive or you're not.
But maybe I'm wrong.
But maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. That's the problem with people on the left that I've noticed a lot, is they don't think they're wrong. And they won't say they're wrong. They would rather double down on bad ideas than say, you know what, maybe that was a bad idea. Maybe that was a bad idea, and I need to course correct. I need to fix this bad idea. Nope, they won't say it.
I'm wrong.
They never do. They never do think they're wrong. There's something off about her. And yes, I have had my own experiences with the Free Press. After losing my teaching job, they reached out and said, Barry Weiss wants to interview you. It ended up not being Barry Weiss at all. She sent Michael Moynihan, which was he's a nice guy. He was very nice to speak to. We set up in this very room. I made it clear from the very beginning on the phone with the producers that I'm not going to release the name of the school. And they said, that's totally understandable. Yeah, no, I understand. And then they leave, and then he emails me and he says, look, just for my journalistic integrity, I really need to know the name of the school. I'll keep it just between us. I was like, dude, I made it clear from the very beginning. And I said no, and they didn't release the interview, so you can apply critical thinking and logic to that yourself. Perhaps it was a boring interview. Perhaps I'm not interesting enough. Perhaps it was the audio. Drove up all the way from New York, hired this guy to come out and set up all these lights, and so I would be lying if I did not say that my view of the free press it did leave a slight taste in my mouth. There's something off about this whole. So when I'm looking at this, that I do need to acknowledge that reality.
In talking to her, we didn't get into Assad or any of those things.
So this whole Assad thing, my understanding of Tulsi Gabbard's point was that you need to be able to negotiate with people you do not like. If you're going to end the conflict in Syria, you're going to need to meet with the leaders of all parties involved.
Now, this reminds me a lot of the whole, when Trump was in office and the mainstream media was talking about Trump and Russia colluding with each other. I heard that a lot. Never got an explanation for it. Just that, he met with Putin and said Putin was a nice guy or whatever the hell they said, something like that. And, at the time I was like, oh, okay. That's not enough to convince me, but I was like, okay, maybe, whatever. But they're using the same tactics that they used back in the day. Russia. I saw Cenk Uygur use it with the International Boxing Association. They always use Russia when they want to discredit somebody. And I've heard it so much that I just don't buy the bullshit anymore. So when they started talking about this with Tulsi, I'm like, okay, wait. So they have nuclear codes, these other countries. They have nukes. And we want to not talk to them because we don't agree with them. And if we do talk to them, we're going to be mean to them. That's kind of how the Democrats want to approach this angle. As far as I'm concerned, I think it's very intelligent to have a good rapport with other countries that are a threat to our country. I would say that you want to make nice with them. You want to keep the lines of communication open. See, the Democrats, what they do is they shut you down, they kick you out, and they say, no, not talking to you. It's very childlike. And that's just not the way to run a country. You have to be able to talk to people you don't agree with and countries you don't agree with and have a good rapport with them so they don't, nuke our country. And other things like that. Start World War III. The Democrats, they want you to not talk to them because we don't agree with them. They're bad people. But that is not how you run a country and keep them safe. You just don't. You don't ignore people you disagree with. That's what mainstream media does. Look at The View. Look at 60 Minutes. Look everywhere. Just look around, and you'll see it. You'll see it everywhere.
It's as simple as that.
She had some very promising ideas. I didn't know about this.
But did she ever apologize for believing in conversion therapy?
Okay, so first off, her whole Assad toady thing didn't work. So now she's going to try something new. Oh, well, conversion therapy. She said something about conversion therapy. Yeah. Conversion therapy is good. That's what she said. Yeah, the toady thing didn't work, so I got to pull this out of my ass and use this instead.
I didn't even know she believed in conversion therapy.
Am I crazy?
Now we're just completely throwing the whole Assad thing out the window, and now we're going to conversion therapy. Anytime I hear the word apologizing and whether that validates someone or not, whether they have or have not apologized, that's a red flag.
Is that real?
Okay, so Tulsi, she had a very conservative father. When she was around 21 or 22, I believe that she believed in conversion therapy. But don't take my word for it. How about you listen to her? Roll the clip.
Aloha. In my past, I said and believed things that were wrong. And worse, they were very hurtful to people in the LGBTQ community and to their loved ones. Many years ago, I apologized for my words and, more importantly, for the negative impact that they had. I sincerely repeat my apology today. I'm deeply sorry for having said them. My views have changed significantly since then, and my record in Congress over the last 6 years reflects what is in my heart: a strong and ongoing commitment to fighting for LGBTQ rights. Now, I know that LGBTQ people still struggle. They're still facing discrimination, still facing abuse, and still fear that hard-won rights are going to be taken away by people who hold views like I used to. That cannot happen. because every American deserves to be treated equally by their fellow Americans and under the law. I will continue to fight for LGBTQ people, whether they're in school, serving in uniform, trying to get health care, taking care of their family, or looking for a home. Now, I grew up knowing that every person is a child of God and equally loved by God. And I've always believed in the fundamental rights and equality of all people. But I also grew up in a socially conservative household, where I was raised to believe that marriage should only be between a man and a woman. So for a period of my life, I didn't see the contradiction in those beliefs. And while many Americans may be able to relate to growing up in a conservative home, my story's a little different because my father was very outspoken. He was an activist who was fighting against gay rights and marriage equality in Hawaii. And at that time, I forcefully defended him and his cause. But over the years, as I grew up, I formed my own opinions based on my life experiences that significantly changed my views at a very personal level in truly having aloha, love for all people, and making sure that every American, regardless of sexual orientation, is treated equally under the law. I look forward to being able to share more of my story and my experiences growing up, not as an excuse, but in the hopes that it may inspire others to truly live aloha, to love and care for others. When we deny LGBT people the basic rights that exist for every American, we're denying their humanity, denying that they are equal. And we're also creating a dangerous environment that breeds discrimination and violence. Because when we divide people based on who they are or who they love, all we're doing is adding fuel to the flames that perpetuate bigotry and hatred. Now, I'm so grateful to my friends, my loved ones, both gay and straight, who have patiently helped me see how my past positions on these issues were at odds with my values, my aloha, and that they were causing people harm. I regret the role that I played in causing such pain, and I remain committed to fighting for LGBT equality.
So as you can see, yes, she has apologized and she's made it abundantly clear that her views have changed as she's grown older. Holy shit! You mean people can change their opinions after they get life experience? You don't say.
I'm almost positive this is real. I think her father ran
when you say conversion therapy, you're talking about gay people.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I didn't know that. I never heard that. I did hear something about when she was very young. She was like 22.
She's getting defensive now, so she's not going to let this go. And
she had said something about gay marriage and civil unions that she apologized for and said that she evolved.
You know you've made a mistake when you start pulling out your phone while you're on Joe Rogan.
I bet Democrats are going to attack her for this, but what about the Clintons? They were against gay marriage. Obama against gay marriage. Biden against gay marriage. You didn't hear them talking about that when they were trying to run Biden, did you? No, because they only use smear tactics when it serves them, you see, not when it actually matters. But in order to smear someone, you have to have information to back up the smear. And, well, as you can see, she's hanging on for dear life.
While you're on Joe Rogan.
She reveals she met Assad in Syria without informing top Democrats.
I'm telling you,
She said she went on a fact-finding mission in support of peace for Syrian people, but characterized U.S.-backed rebels as terrorists.
Yeah, hold on.
And Barry Weiss is just not even worried about this whole Assad thing anymore. She's just trying to go towards the conversion.
What I have heard Tulsi say is that you need to have good rapport with your enemies. I'm not saying verbatim. She doesn't want our troops to be sacrificing their lives for needless wars that we shouldn't even be involved in. She wants to pull those troops out. I honestly believe, is a very rational person. She's the only person in government I have actually heard apologize for her previous views, explain why she had them, and explain why she has the views that she does now. You don't hear that. No, because in government, most people they don't want to say they're wrong. It's like kryptonite.
Conversion therapy angle.
I can keep looking, but
I'm telling
I don't have
you.
enough time to research everything all at the
Yeah.
same time. So.
And Jamie is even fed up with this. He's like, I don't have time to do your work for you all the time. Like if you're going to be throwing accusations so loosely and quickly from the hip.
I can come back on when I know more.
Okay, but we can do this another time.
Okay.
Joe Rogan just tables it.
But who do you think stands out for you as someone that would make a good president?
Yeah, she once touted working for an anti-gay group that backed conversion therapy. Anyway.
Still going, and then she just put the phone back in the pocket.
She once touted working for an
She worked for an anti-gay group.
She worked for them, like she had a job there?
Joe Rogan still challenges it. He's not letting it go. He goes, wait, I'm sorry. Touted? What does touted mean?
What?
You know, I'm worried as a person who's been called alt-right adjacent.
I'm just looking
I'm worried
it up.
about.
Good for you, Joe Rogan. That is as you should be.
Also, I find it incredibly rude that she's on Joe Rogan's podcast and she's looking down at her phone like she's a teenager. Come on. If you don't have the facts to back it up, if you don't know what a word means, don't use it. Don't say it. Especially not on a podcast where the guy always asks questions because he wants to know. He just genuinely wants to know what she means by that. And she can't answer. I'm not surprised.
You should be, as we all should be. We should not allow conversations like this to go unchallenged. When you hear someone throwing out accusations loosely, just ask the basic logical questions. What does that mean?
Labels. No, I understand. But you know what I mean?
Rep. Tulsi Gabbard in the early 2000s touted working for her father's anti-gay organization, which mobilized to pass a measure against same-sex marriage in Hawaii and promoted controversial conversion therapy.
Okay, so she remembers that, but she doesn't remember the apology. Oh, it's very selective with her memory, isn't it? Yeah, she did apologize. People can have opinions when they're younger, and then they change as they grow older. It's called self-development. Some people never do that, and other people do.
Yeah. FYI.
Notice the arc that's occurred in this whole conversation. From Assad to this, and she tries to act all victorious as though she's just proved a point. This kind of nonsense should not go unchallenged, and it's not difficult to do.
And the end of her statement. Just to let you know, she was totally evil. She called her a very nasty name at the beginning of this, and she didn't have anything to back it up, aside from something about Tulsi's past, which she had reconciled. So what she's doing, very wise, what she's doing is very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's saying something very radical, nonchalantly, like this is known. Like the whole J.K. Rowling is a transphobe thing, but more extreme because this is someone who is in Trump's cabinet, who is, going to be doing a very important job for America. And to just smear her with these statements that aren't backed up by any sort of fact is, it's disheartening, but it is what I've come to know is very typical, especially with people in media and people on the left. So that's how the cookie crumbles. Just completely ridiculous. Anyway, if Tulsi runs for president, she has my vote. I like her, even though I have heard so many people talking crap about her, especially as of lately. I have a brain. I have logic on my side. I ask questions, and no one's been able to prove to me that Tulsi Gabbard is a horrible person. The only thing that I've heard is a bunch of nonsense with nothing to back it up. So that's that, everybody. Use your mind and critically think. Ask questions. It's not rude to ask questions, and it doesn't make you look stupid to ask questions either. So please like and subscribe to this video. Join our memberships. Comment below if you have any opinions or if you've heard any smack talked about Tulsi and what your opinion is, and I'll see you in the next video.